Ken Robinson said that the core of education is to prepare children for a world after school. So how are we doing? Are we preparing our young people for a life of tests or for the tests of life? We live in a time of turbulence where the only certainty is that the pace of change in the future will never be slower than it is today. Have we got the correct emphasis on a strong set of values over valuables? Integrity over income, self-worth over net worth, and emotional intelligence, EQ, over IQ. I'd like to share with you three things, three pillars to help our young people thrive on their way to well-being, to help students stay standing when the storms come, to realize that tough times need not reduce you to rubble. That's it, no big deal. Pillar number one, you are enough. I always do my homework. My grades have been okay. I'm always nice to teachers and I'm in school every day. But they all think I'm average, and now my parents think so too. I wish they hadn't said that because there's so much I want to do. I want to build a rocket. I've got a book that shows you how. I'll start a stamp collection. Well, there's no use starting now because since I found out I'm average, I'm just smart enough, you see, to know there's nothing special that I should expect of me. I'm just part of that majority that hum part of the bell and live their lives unnoticed in an average kind of hell. We all talk to ourselves. If you're sitting there saying, I don't talk to myself, who said that? You're talking to yourself. We can be very hard on ourselves, would you agree? The most important words that you ever hear in your life are the words that you say to yourself and believe. You see, belief in yourself costs nothing, and every one of us can afford it. I was taught that by a man that I'm proud to share the same badge with, the patrician brother Colm O'Connell, the world's greatest successful athletics coach, trainer of David Rudisha, world champion, double Olympic champion, world record holder. The great, the good, the not so good, be the path to his door to find out the secret. Now, I haven't cleared this with the TED authorities, but I'm going to tell you the secret on one condition, that you tell everybody. We're born with two fears, the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling over. All other fears are learned along the way. The fear of not fitting in, the fear of missing out, the fear of being offline, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough. Colm's secret is as simple as it is profound. You see, it's hidden in plain sight. You are, you were, you always will be enough. Your enoughness is not something outside of you waiting to be discovered. Really, it's inside of you waiting to be recovered. I'll be enough when I get certain grades in my exams. I'll be enough when I've got the approval of my friends and family. I'll be enough when I have that name plate on the office door that says CEO. When you let it seep into your consciousness that you are already enough and nothing outside of yourself will make you more enough than you already are, you're free to change your emotional state from one of fear and anxiety to one of effort and application. You're free to give it a go, to do the best you can with the ability that you have, in the time that you've got, in the space that you're in. You're able to reframe fail as first attempt in learning. Mistakes become vile, very interesting learning experiences. What if you entertained the possibility that there is nothing wrong with you, that what is right with you can't fix? The second pillar, to cultivate an attitude of gratitude. Oscar Wilde said there are some people who spread happiness wherever they go and some people who spread happiness whenever they go. Have you ever found that some people find fault like there's a reward going for it? You know those type of people? Blood type negative. Every silver lining has a cloud kind of people. Good morning, Tony. Is it? Have you seen the weather outside? It's awful. It's Friday. I hate Fridays. Too close to Mondays. Indoor rain clouds. Tune your internal appreciation station at least once a day to what's positive in your life that's sitting silently at the back of your awareness. You see, lowering the threshold of what you're grateful for is the single biggest thing that I know that it can increase your happiness quotient. To be or not to be is not really the question. Rather, the question, when you add up all the good stuff in your life and the not so good stuff in your life, how are you doing? And closer to it is, which one are you focused on? Have you ever noticed that the shortest distance between two people is laughter? Pillar. Slow down. We live in an age of digital distraction. We've never been more electronically connected and paradoxically more emotionally disconnected. Would you agree? We live in an age of acceleration. The days, the weeks, the months, the years go by like cat's eyes on a motorway. 75% of teenagers spend 75% of their time looking down. What are they missing by not looking up? We're cramming our minutes and we're missing our moments. In the rush to the next moment, in the worry about the last moment, we have an awful habit of missing that piece in the middle. Our one and precious life. Get out of your head and into your life. There's transformative power in pausing when living one's life in fast forward. Outside of your family, who believed in you when you didn't believe in you? My good adult was Miss Holmes, age 10. She was the oasis in my desert. She had a smile that was like a warm fire on a cold day. And I honor her memory by mentioning her here today. She came into us in the classroom and said, "Right, I want you to write down a sentence in your copies that makes sense and significance, but the sentence can only have 10 words and each word can only have 2 letters. Away with ye." After 5 minutes and much scratching of head, a befuddled gaggle of young people said, "Miss, we're stuck. Can you give us a hand?" She said surely, as she wrote a sentence on the board that I was never to forget and was to change my life. She wrote, "If it is to be, it is up to me." And in that moment, that teacher taught a classroom of children a lesson, not for the instant, but for the ages. Not to be a pillion passenger in your life, but to be in the driving seat. That I had the intuitive capacity and wherewithal to turn obstacles into opportunities, dead ends into doorways, fear into fuel, trouble into triumph, and occasionally wounds into wisdom. You see, Miss Holmes had an organic view of education. She knew that she didn't glue on the leaves or paint the petals or even attach the roots. She created the conditions for us to thrive and to flourish and to do what comes naturally, to grow. Let's give our young people both the skill and the will to develop their capacity to become something amazing in the future. Let's help them remind themselves that life is like a camera. Focus on what's important. Capture the good. Develop from the negatives. And if it doesn't work out, take another shot.